Hello to my wonderful listeners. Welcome back. This is Dr. Laura Mock again here. I am here tonight to talk to you about what I am calling a case of the shoulds. Before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have responded to my videos so far. I've gotten a lot of really nice comments and messages, lots of responses, some shares, some subscribes. I would love to see more shares and more subscribes. It helps the search engines know that I'm relevant and helps more people find me. So if I am making a difference for you, would you consider doing a little something to help me out by either sharing or subscribing or even just writing a comment? And if you want to talk to me about something that's more personal, feel free to reach out to me. There are other people who have, and we've had some good conversations. In fact, here's a comment that I got just this week from somebody after we chatted for a while. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction. You will probably not ever know how many people you touch and help through your dentistry, video blogging, friendship, etc. Hugs. Oh, that made me feel so good. That's why I do this. So yeah, if you're wanting to talk to me about something, please reach out. So back to our topic tonight, a case of the shoulds. How many times have you heard a patient say, I know I should floss more? And when you hear them say that, what are you thinking in your mind after they say that? Oh, nailed it. That person is definitely going to start flossing more. No. When they say I should floss more, what you're hearing them say is, I'm not going to change and I'm just going to feel shitty about it. So let's talk about this. We're going to back up for a moment and discuss what my life coach calls the thought model. I belong to a group of coaching scholars called Self-Coaching Scholars, and it's by Brooke Castillo if you want to look her up. And I'm just going to show you her thought model. I printed it up for you real nice. My husband helped me. And then I drew these pretty little chemistry arrows because I like arrows. So it starts with the circumstance. We all have circumstances in our lives, and these are facts of they're neutral. So if I say, oh, my husband yelled at me this morning, that's not actually a good circumstance because not everybody would agree that my husband yelled at me. But I could say, my husband said to me, I can't even think of anything because he never says anything mean to me. Hey, you need to move your car. Or make sure you shut the door to the garage. That one he says. Make sure you shut the door to the garage. Everyone could agree on the words that he said, but some would say he yelled, some would say he said it nice, whatever. That is the circumstance. It has to be neutral in order to be an accurate model. After we have a circumstance, we have the thought. So in my head, I'm thinking to myself either my husband's mean or my husband wants to keep the garage warm, which is actually what it is usually in the wintertime. He likes a warm garage because he works out there and he doesn't have a heater. So that's the thought after the circumstance. And then you have the feeling, and the thought leads to the feeling. This is really important, especially for today. I need you guys to understand that our thoughts generate our feelings. We will not have a feeling without having a thought about our circumstance first. So if my thought was, my husband yelled at me, then I might feel really sad or betrayed. But if my thought was, my husband wants to keep the garage warm, then my feeling might be, oh, I should help him. I might feel helpful instead of hurt. And then we take the action, right? So if my husband yelled at me, I might just go cry on my bed. But if he asked me to keep the garage warm and I'm feeling helpful, then I'm just going to shut the garage door. And then the result is that everybody has what they need. So this lower part, we're not going to focus on too much, the action and result tonight. And actually, we're not really even going to focus on circumstances very much tonight. It's just going to be thoughts and feelings. Okie dokie. That's the overview of the model that will help me illustrate my thought tonight. Our brain auto-populates a lot of the thoughts that we have. And this is because our brain is built for efficiency. It wants to conserve energy because as an animal on the earth, we have a limited amount of energy available to us, or we have in the past. And so not using up too much energy was a part of was a part of our physiology. And one of the things that the brain does to conserve energy is to create pathways or habits of thought. Raise your hand if you've ever driven to the store when you were supposed to be going to the bank. I've done that. Or some other incantation of that. You were going to the preschool, but you meant to go to your work or whatever. That happens all the time. And that's because your brain has gone into autopilot for you. You don't even think about it. And this is the same thing with our thoughts, especially when it comes to thoughts about circumstances. Our brain will just go ahead and think a thought for us, and we aren't even taking the time to assess whether that thought is accurate or not. But I have good news for you. As humans, we have an advantage, and that advantage is called metacognition, meaning we are able to think about our thoughts. So if we have a thought, we can, if we want to, if we choose to, we can pause and say, was that really true what I just thought? And a lot of times the thoughts aren't true, or they're not completely true. Maybe they're halfway true. And the really exciting thing is that we can actually choose our thoughts. If we have a thought that we don't like or that's not serving us, we can choose a new thought. And because we can choose a new thought, we can control our feelings too. It's so magical, you guys. If you're having a thought that's not serving you, you can choose a new one. But the thing is, even though we are able to do that, it does take work and it takes conscious effort. And a lot of us don't do the conscious effort. But I'm telling you right now, each of you that's listening to this video, you can do it. I know you can. So now we're going to get to the shoulds. Okay. So the shoulds for me have a very bad label. They're really dangerous thoughts. Shoulds are thoughts. Okay, they're not circumstances and they're not feelings. But they create feelings. And let me know if you can think of any positive feelings that come from a should. I couldn't think of any, and I tried. And I have divided our shoulds into two separate categories. Shoulds for ourselves and shoulds for other people. Let's go over the ones for ourselves first. See if these sound familiar. I should get up and exercise. How many times have I thought that and stayed in my bed? I should go to bed earlier. I should clean the kitchen. I should send Christmas cards. I haven't sent Christmas cards for about 15 years, people. I should pay off my credit card debt. So all of those thoughts are the same as the flossing thought. We're not going to do it. And you know why? Because a should thought feels like crap. And if you feel like crap, you're not going to take action, not positive action. What do you feel like when you think I should do my taxes? Oh my gosh, I don't think so. I'm not doing those taxes. Now it's different if you're thinking I'm going to do my taxes because I want my refund. That is a different thought. It creates a different feeling and different action. See my point? So that's should for yourselves. And I'm telling you right now, if you notice that you're saying I should, blah, 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 whatever, it's a really good time to pause, ask yourself what you were saying, and change it to something else. Because for sure, a should thought is not going to be helpful for you. Okay, next is others. Here are some should thoughts that I came up for others. My husband should send me flowers more. My patients should take my advice. My kids should listen to me and clean their room. Those people in that other country should stop fighting each other. How's that one? So same thing over here, except now our should is being focused on other people. And I have news for you. There are no should thoughts that actually change somebody else's actions. It just doesn't work like that. So you are free to choose a new thought, and I have some guidance for you as far as the best way to choose a new thought. First of all, you need to choose one that's believable. It can be anything that you want, but if it's, I'm a unicorn and I have wings, well, you're not going to believe that. So you have to think about something that's believable. And sometimes that means you have to choose bridging thoughts. So, for example, when I work on my body positivity, instead of saying to myself, I have fat arms, I might say, I have arms, because I can believe that. And then I might switch that from every time I say to myself, I have fat arms, I'll be like, no, Laura, I'm not saying that anymore. I'm just saying I have arms. And then after I'm used to thinking I have arms, then I might switch to I have strong arms, because I do. Because of the times that I've lifted weights, I can say I have strong arms. And eventually I can get to whatever goal thought that I have. This takes some practice too, to do what's called the bridging thoughts. But you can pick any thought that's believable and then work your way to something more positive that makes you feel better. And that's the second criteria, is that you want to choose a thought that makes you feel good. And then the third one, and this one is important for that others category, is that you want to choose a thought that does not involve controlling other people's business. So if I think to myself, my husband should send me flowers, I can't change that thought to my husband is sending me flowers, because I'm still trying to control him. I can only control myself. So I might change my thought to, I love my husband no matter what he does. Or, I liked it that one time when my husband sent me flowers. That was really sweet of him. Or, I think I'm going to send my husband flowers. That would be really nice of me. You get the idea, and you can be creative with it. The thing is that you just have to make sure that your new thought doesn't involve controlling people, and that it's believable, and that makes you feel good. So that's the nature of the shoulds. And as my husband said today, when I told him what I was going to be talking about, he said that I should say, don't go shoulding all over somebody else. If you have needs, seek them within yourself. Seek the solutions in here instead of trying to get other people to fulfill them, and you'll feel so much better. And that's all I have for you for tonight. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you again for being one of my listeners.